What's going on, everybody? CyberJ here, posting another video on Cybergrounds. I know it's been some time since I posted some things on here, but yeah, I was visiting family and then just moved back and just got settled into the groove of my life. So, I just got done with a workout, so I might not stay on here too long. Just gonna get me a protein shake, get a shower, and then yeah, just kind of do my thing to get some other things done. So I'm not going to really, talk too long on this, but one thing I want to talk about that's been kind of on my mind lately has been OT attacks. I was listening to a podcast recently. It was called The Hacker Mind, and one episode they were talking about was ransomware attacks, and then there was something they mentioned in there about operational technology or OT attacks. Now, if you're aware of what operational technology is, they are basically it's basically technology that we use to perform our everyday life. Well, we use technology every day for our everyday lives, but I'm talking it's like industrial equipment, like with manufacturing, like machine presses, conveyor belts, even using elevators, stuff like that. And a lot of the hacks that we see these days are really mostly based around getting credentials, selling them on the dark web, or like ransomware attacks, which we've seen really like a lot over the past 5 to 10 years. Just basically holding people for ransom, asking them for money. A lot of times it's just that kind of stuff. But one thing that really inspires me about getting in cybersecurity, and one thing I really worry about a lot, is the proliferation of OT attacks. Now, I know a lot of it sounds theoretical, and like I said, based on a lot of what we see today, it's mostly just people hacking companies for money and just stealing credentials, just getting that kind of stuff. Just quick and easy stuff that people like to try to do. But honestly, I can see, I'd rather worry about OT attacks and build around a lot of it, like defenses, cyber defenses against OT attacks, then just say, oh, it's theoretical, there's not a big chance it could happen. Because, and one thing that the guy in the Hacker Mind episode mentioned was, we might see more of that in the next few years. I think I tend to agree with that. Maybe a little longer, I don't know, because especially with AI here, we see how fast technology has really evolved. I mean, I think a lot of things in technology, a lot of it's about, hey, you don't think it could happen, but then you see just how fast technology evolves, especially over the past 10, 15 years, and at least since, the internet. Since the internet became commercialized. So I don't know, it tends to evolve really fast, and AI is only going to really expedite a lot of that as well, if social media hasn't really done that already. So I just worry about, I can honestly think that one of the things I really worry about with cybersecurity, it really inspires me to get more involved is OT attacks. I mean, I could just imagine, could you imagine just riding an elevator, or even just, even the pipeline incident, for instance, that was an OT attack. Correct me if I'm wrong. Just that kind of stuff that could really damage or impede our critical infrastructure. It's that kind of stuff I really worry about happening more. And I know a lot of it, like I said, a lot of it sounds theoretical, but I'd rather focus on a lot of that, get safeguards in place for that, than just let it happen. I know, like I said, there's a lot of people who say, oh, but it's mostly just ransomware attacks, so focus a lot of your resources and assets around leveraging all that towards defending against that, which is good. But I tend to be someone who tends to focus, especially in cybersecurity, I tend to focus on a lot of the theoretical, and because I think, a lot of that stuff, you don't think a lot of that stuff could happen, but next thing you know, it does happen. Like I said, technology, especially these days, just moves really fast, and you're not going to really see a lot of that stuff coming. So it's best to just kind of I guess get some safeguards in place before it happens, because the last thing you want to do is just, especially if you work in technology, especially in information security, is that, just wait, just be reactive. It's best to be really proactive, proactive over reactive, essentially. As someone like me who works in IT, I like to, kind of take that approach. I know it's really something that, especially if you're someone who doesn't work in IT, if you're just someone who wants to protect your information, it's best to take a really proactive approach rather than a reactive one, because last thing you want to do is just have something happen where it's like, hey, this isn't going to happen. It's not going to really be such a big deal. And then next thing you know, oh, hey, I just got my username and password stolen, and now it's being sold to all these people on the dark web. And next thing I know, and you probably have instances where it's like, hey, you need to pay like $1,500, or even like the pig butchering scam that we see a lot of these days, where these people pose as, other people on dating sites and want people to get more involved in discussing stuff like crypto, give them some information over. A lot of those are really sophisticated attacks. We just see the growing sophistication of a lot of cyber attacks and a lot of chances that people can use information technology to harm others. And, in the case of the pig butchering scam, there are people who literally get scammed out of hundreds, not thousands, sometimes even millions of dollars to, get themselves in debt. And it's just really scary when you think about it. So I tend to want to raise more cyber awareness, and I think it's good that we focus more on dedicating our resources to information technology. I know we in the US here, we spend a lot on technology, especially the digital kind, to make sure that we are not only just innovating, but we're protecting ourselves against foreign adversaries and just even domestic adversaries. So I guess I'm not really saying much new on that, but at the same time, I think it's just something that we gotta watch out for, because like going back to OT attacks, especially with the proliferation of AI, who knows what we could actually see happen as a result of a lot of emerging technology. So I'd say take some time to focus on protecting yourselves against OT attacks. Make sure there's ways to safeguard industrial equipment. Make sure you have. I wouldn't doubt that we actually use AI eventually to integrate with a lot of this OT and find ways to protect it. So, just find ways to invest in that kind of tech, because let's face it, AI is the future, and whether we like it or not. So just finding ways to especially if you work in tech, some ways to kind of learn about the technology and what dangers it could pose to you and everyone else. So I know, I guess I'm just ranting and kind of jumping around. Just thought I'd get some stuff posted here, but I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate you all for listening to this or watching this. And if you like what you hear, then just follow me on Cybergrounds. And I also have a Twitch that I have set up called Cyber J Grounds. I'm trying to get some stuff, some streaming stuff set up for that. So just to get it working. So look forward to seeing more of what I got. So anyways, peace. Cyber J out.